pitchers, but I haven't seen Anthony Rendon anywhere near a baseball field in probably the last 2 years.
He should not be getting Cy Young shots. There's no world.
No, hold on. Behind Kershaw?
Hold up.
Kershaw isn't.
Kershaw is probably the most overrated pitcher in the history of the league.
Oh, whoa.
I don't know about that.
Somebody wasn't watching
about
ball
that
in 2014 because he was.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
These guys are beaten down on just scrubs. I mean, they're just blowing out the Magic, and I'm like, this is the most pointless thing ever. Why? Like, you're not even playing against real competition. We're saying he's the greatest player of this generation.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very first episode of On the Board podcast. Tonight we have a loaded schedule. We've got MLB trade deadline, NFL free agency, and the NBA Summer League. So this year we've seen it's been pretty quiet so far except for the Shohei rumors. Who do we think could be buyers at the deadline in the MLB?
I'm gonna go with
honestly. Jack.
No more than you go. You go.
Honestly, like, I just feel like the Angels have to buy. I mean, they have Shohei, so maybe they could, if they want to keep Shohei, that is. If they want to keep Shohei, Anaheim, and try to keep him, especially in the future, buy with everything they have. Like, you're going to need to beef up the pitching staff, I think is the main concern. Shohei Ohtani cannot keep this team alive just by himself and pitch every five starts. Like, it's not gonna work. So they need to buy. They're keeping Shohei. If not, sell everything.
I mean,
at that point, because they're not going anywhere.
Help that none of their prospects have really panned out. Like Joe Adell's been like a total bust, and he was supposed to take over for Trout and center, and then Rendon has played like 8 games for them.
Rendon's played, I think, like, I don't know what the actual number is.
He's got like more IL stints than home runs with them. It's ridiculous. It's like the worst. It's one of the worst contracts since Pujols, which was also the Angels. So they've kind of got a pretty rough history there.
What about the Yankees? This team needs to buy, and they need to do it fast. They're 2-8 in the last 10 games. This team's lost 4 straight. About to be 5 because they were just blown out of the building earlier today. They lost 7-3 against the Angels. They suck. It's bottom line. They're terrible. This is not a good team. They're 50-47. They're barely above 500. 9 games back of their division, which seems like a long shot for them. Judge is still on the IL. They're getting nothing from any of these guys. Volpe, who's a rookie shortstop, started off the year good. I know. Started off all right, but now he's not that good. But he is a rookie, so you got to give him time. They need to buy, and they need to do very quickly. They need to get Ohtani, put together whatever, sell whoever. You need to get Ohtani because they're going in the wrong direction.
Why would he ever want to go to the Yankees?
Yeah, I don't really see why he'd want to go to the Yankees.
And also, what do they have to give them? They've got Volpe and Jason Dominguez, and that's it. Like, the rest of the players on that team suck. It's bad.
ESPN...
It's bad over there.
ESPN put together a deal here. The proposed deal, this is put out by ESPN.
Oh, I think I've seen
Everson Piera, Trey Sweeney, Chase Hampton, Drew Thorpe, and Jared Serna for Ohtani.
No.
Okay.
I don't know if the Angels are going to do that.
I think, personally, the Yankees will buy by selling, which means getting rid of, like, Josh Donaldson and the guys that
I was going to say,
Josh Donaldson's got to go. That's another guy.
They're paying him $120
Josh Donaldson is the
He's
best
not good.
baseman in baseball right now. Josh Donaldson is the best baseball player right now in the league. Sure, he has negative WAR, but that doesn't really matter.
Doesn't he have 14 total hits and 10 of them have been home runs? I mean, it's just bizarre.
It would be fine.
It
would be fine if he was batting 200, but then the 200, like the 20% of the time, he was absolutely smacking the cover off the ball. But he's not. He's not even really slugging this year. It's ridiculous. He's just a shell.
The batting average this season is 178. I mean,
they're paying him $30 million a year to bat 170. That's crazy.
Yeah. He's hurt too.
Yeah,
I've never seen talking about Aaron Judge for a second, I've never seen anybody out for a toe injury
That
long
long.
other than Aaron Judge.
How long is he
I don't
out?
know.
He's been out for like
I'm-
2 months.
I know he's been out for a while.
It was like mid-June or something when he got hurt, like beginning of June or something like that against the Dodgers.
Keep saying that maybe he'll come back, but it's just like he's just gonna be until the postseason, and they need him back to get into the postseason.
And Rizzo hasn't hit a home run in like forever. I forgot he was even with the Yankees.
Yeah.
Same with
And
LeMahieu.
then
Yeah,
Like,
they
there's
just got
so many-
Carlos Rodon back, who's been horrible.
If this team was like in
He's
2015, this would be like a god squad.
Mm-hmm.
But
it should have been though. They had everybody in 2019 and they still lost. Granted, Houston was cheating during that period of time. They probably still are right now. But they've had their chances. Look, they were swept in the championship series last year.
They blew it.
How many more chances can you get?
He sold the bag. Bro,
You know, I've got a theory.
Teams that
Ever
sold
since-
the bag. Look at. I just have to bring up the San Diego Padres.
oh wow.
Yeah,
That is the most
Yep.
fumbled the bag team in baseball I've seen in an absolute while. Worse than the Angels fumbling Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani and then
It's
having nothing
ridiculous.
with the rest of their players.
But
You have
like,
you have Tatis, you have Machado. First of all, those two alone should get you a very good record. And then just all the players you signed during the offseason. Absolutely nothing has come from it.
Bogarts
they're the second worst in their division.
It's
too.
crazy
They're not even
because
Will you
they're
close.
meme
pitching
at this point?
isn't even bad. Like
No, the
Yeah,
pitching is
yeah.
really good.
top to bottom, their
Volkman,
roster
Nicolaka.
is stunning. Their roster is stellar.
Right.
But they just, I don't know what's wrong. They just can't put it together. Because
Well,
like,
and
Darvish
Juan
and
Soto's a
Waka
shell of
and Snell,
himself.
oh my gosh, they've been so good. And Hader's back to being
Yeah.
Hader. And they've got all these world-class hitters, and Hae-Sung Kim has come out of nowhere, and he's been really good. And they still suck.
well, and they're
Son Kim
terrible. I mean,
is
you look
an
at the
absolute legend.
West standings right now. San Francisco and Arizona are a game and a half behind
Yeah.
the Dodgers. The Padres are 9.5 games behind. They're not even close. They're not even in kind of the conversation to make the wild
They're
card.
already been written
They
off.
are-
They're done.
They are at the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
It's-
It's bad.
It's
Do the
bad.
Diamondbacks buy? Do the
Yeah,
Diamondbacks
No,
they-
I
they
don't
need
think
to.
they should buy.
No,
deadline?
Because
They
they're
should
so young. They're so
stay.
young right now. I don't think they need to.
Yeah.
They're not supposed to
Yeah.
be competing
Feel
right
like-
now.
Yeah. This is. I mean, they've been so good.
I think the Dodgers need
How
to buy
it's-
though.
I mean,
The
Corbin.
Dodgers.
low
need to buy.
key,
Corbin
low
Carroll
key.
just turned into probably. Okay. Corbin's probably my MVP. Like honestly, from National League
I
right
don't know. I
now.
think
No.
Acuna's got him beat by a mile.
Yeah.
Acuna
Yeah.
is-
Okay.
Corbin's rookie of the year for
Acuna's
sure
third.
though. It's not unless he gets
Yeah.
hurt.
Okay. Yeah.
Like
Rookie of the year, definitely. I mean, okay. If Acuna didn't exist,
it's Corbin Carroll because there's really nobody else if
Yeah.
you look at it.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like,
no.
the
I mean,
only other
you
person you
can
could make
maybe
an
argue
argument.
Luis Ariz, but like no, because he can't hit
No,
home runs.
no,
Well,
no,
the problem is
they
that
also
he's
say-
not
He's a contact.
beneficial to his team. He gets on base and he gets hits, but like he can't hit for power, so he's not going to drive in runs like that.
The
Yeah.
single merchant.
You can maybe
I wouldn't
you can
boil
argue
him
Sean
down to
Murphy and
that,
also
but
Mookie Betts for Freeman.
I think
Basically.
Jeff might be the only person I've seen say someone hitting 400 makes them a single merchant. He's the only one that could boil down hitting 400 to such a degrading thing.
Well, I'm not sold on them as a team.
The Marlins?
Yeah.
Nobody
I don't think
is. I don't
anybody
think.
is.
I don't think anybody's sold on them
No.
as a team. Nobody talks about the. Nobody talks about the Marlins
They're
as a
good. They're
team.
kind of good.
They're-
They're in
but
second
nobody-
place.
They're
but,
third
like,
in their
they just-
division.
Yeah.
No, they're second.
Yeah,
in their
but I
division,
don't-
aren't they?
No,
Oh, second, yeah,
Philadelphia
second.
jumped them.
Oh my
Philadelphia
gosh.
jumped them.
Oh, wow.
Philly's a train wreck too. I don't know what happened.
Miami's 2-8 in their last 6. They've
Oh,
lost 6 straight games.
That's tough. That's
Oh
tough.
wow.
Showed that
You think of
they,
a guy like
I think
Derek
Philly
Chisholm.
showed what kind of team they actually were in terms of an absolute total package. This year, I mean, it was a great story. It was an amazing story. But it was extremely lucky that Castellanos turned into an absolute defensively somehow during the postseason.
They had him playing center field in the All-Star game. That's crazy. I've
Yeah.
never seen Nick
That was-
Castellanos
I'm like-
play center field in my life.
Yeah.
The Phillies team kind of reminds me of that North Carolina's one 2022 tournament. Like we saw, everyone thought coming into this season they were going to be really good, and they weren't even in the top 25 to finish the season.
I think it just proves that in baseball you just got to get hot at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Harper
got hot, Castellanos got hot, they all got hot at the right time, and it got them to the World Series. But I mean, I just think it's Trey Turner. What is going on with him?
Yeah,
he can't.
That was supposed to be like a big signing, and he's done nothing.
It was ridiculous. The other day, Bryce Harper hit like a deep single, and Trey Turner did not score. And he'd be like the one guy in the league that for years you'd be like, any kind of single that's not like a blue piece scoring from first.
And today against...
Yeah, but he's still got a good slide. He can still slide really well.
That was 2 years ago.
That was really cool 2 years ago, and now, I mean, maybe we'll see it again. He'll do a cool slide, and then it'll be...
And they've got Bryce Harper, who can't even play the field right now.
Earlier tonight, Bryce
Cody
Harper...
Bellinger right now is a better player than Trey Turner.
Legit, yeah.
Oh.
I mean, he's not.
He's got a point.
He does. That just hurts. It hurts to hear.
Cody Bellinger is a better player than Trey Turner.
That's tough.
Yeah, earlier tonight, Bryce Harper was against the Brewers. He had this at bat. He didn't even swing at a single pitch. It looked like his controller dead.
He was done.
He didn't swing at a single pitch, and it was almost the pitcher almost walked him. It was a full count. I mean, so I'm really confused on what's going on there, but.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jeff, why don't you turn your camera back on there, bud?
I don't think I need a reminder, buddy.
Well, you do, buddy, because it ruins the setup here.
Oh, it does?
The Cubs have... By the way, the Cubs have to get rid of... Not young. He's not exactly a young gun player right now. They need to sell him while... Truman.
Yeah, sell it.
Yeah, they need to sell him while he's hot. Somebody'll buy him for a decent price right now.
He's having a crazy year right now.
Here, nobody's gonna.
Someone I don't think someone you don't think would go, but Kyle Hendricks could. Some playoff team could use Kyle Hendricks. I mean, he's been really good this year. Kyle Hendricks. I mean, he's been.
That would honestly just be so sad because he's like the last person from that World Series team. That would be going on sad for the Cubs. I don't even think he's that good.
Maybe like the Yankees could use him, but I don't know.
No, I don't think he is either. I think he
good.
used to be. He used to be. But I mean, some guys just get old.
I mean,
right now,
but Jack,
one hitter against the Giants.
Jack, think about it this way: a team that's contending for the World Series right now does not need Kyle Hendricks.
They don't get better
starter.
by adding Kyle Hendricks. It doesn't.
Yeah, I mean,
this is true.
He does add veteran leadership, but he really isn't the same as he used to be.
Maybe in the playoffs, like playoff pitching, maybe. But you'd have to give up way more than that would be worth. So
the Cubs aren't going to let you.
No, and they're not going to let him. They're not going to DFA him either. So.
No, they're not. I mean, Justin Steele's been on fire this year.
Most overrated pitcher in the league, by the way.
Yeah, by mile.
Not that guy.
No.
Mile.
Sir.
No, sir. He's not the most overrated.
Do you sell him?
No,
you
they
don't
have so
sell
much
him.
control left on his contract.
He's young. He's only like 23. Although he did have his worst start of the year.
I'm not saying he's a bad pitcher. I'm saying he's the most overrated pitcher. He should not be getting Cy Young shots. There's no world.
No, hold on. Behind Kershaw?
Hold up.
Kershaw isn't.
Kershaw is probably the most overrated pitcher in the history of the league.
Oh, whoa.
I don't know about that.
Somebody wasn't watching ball in 2014 because he was.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. This year?
Okay, well,
the guy?
Yeah.
The thing is, if we're talking,
hold on. 2015 and 2016, he was notoriously known as the playoff choker.
He's horrible.
Everybody knows this. This isn't news.
That's the thing.
But that doesn't diminish what he's done.
It does, though.
No,
yes, it does.
If you win,
listen to me.
Listen to me.
Hold on.
If you want to be considered one of the best pitchers of all time, you need to perform.
How is he the best pitcher?
He's one
of.
If you win Cy Young and MVP in the same season, you are one of the best pitchers of all time.
Listen, he's going to go down as one of.
It's like saying Mike Trout is not one of the best players of all time because
he's not either.
Exactly.
When you
What are
when
you
you think of the
talking
greatest
about?
ever,
He's the
when you
greatest
think
player of
the
our
gr-
generation.
Oh, that's a stretch.
Oh, is it Buster
No,
Posey,
it's not.
Jeff? It's Buster
No, it's-
Posey.
Hey, he's
Yeah,
up there.
It's not.
He's up there.
Not.
He's got 3 rings. He's
I
got
think
3
Jeff
rings.
is
How many
right.
does
Since
Trout
when is
have?
playoff
Rings don't
success
How many does
a
Trout have?
metric in
Here's
baseball?
hold on.
Rings don't
Hold
mean
on.
things.
Hold on. If you can't succeed in the postseason, are you really an all-time great?
Yes.
Just think about that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Since
Are you?
because you can't
play,
succeed in the
listen,
postseason.
listen.
The playoffs is so much different than the regular season.
It's different, but look, playoff success in baseball, especially because you get what? You get 3 at bats a game, maybe 4.
Or
And if you're a pitcher, you get
And if you're a
five.
pitcher,
Depending
you
on how
get
far
1
you
game
go.
a series, or maybe 2 if you're like the number 1 pitcher.
yeah.
You can only do so much to impact your team. Mike Trout is the greatest player of our generation. He's played in 1 playoff series and they lost. That doesn't
Didn't
mean
they
he's
get
not.
swept?
That doesn't. He can't chuck up like 30 shots in a game like James Harden can, or he could back in the day. And
Well, James Harden also chokes in the postseason.
Well,
so
okay,
that one isn't-
but that's different in basketball
Wasn't
because
the-
it's a much more individual sport. Baseball is the ultimate team sport. So
Right,
you
but you can.
use
But
playoff
you're not
success-
talking. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
No. You can use playoff success to elevate somebody in your standings, but you definitely can't use playoff failure to bring someone down. It just doesn't work like that.
But this is supposed to be an individual title, I guess, or whatever. So you're not looking at it from a team perspective. You're
But I'm
looking
saying
at it
you
from the
can't
individual
hold team
player.
success against an individual. It just doesn't make
Okay,
sense.
if you're saying
I'm
Mike
not
Trout
holding a
isn't
team
the- if you're saying Mike Trout isn't the best player of our generation, or at
Why?
least top 2,
Because
you're
he
saying,
doesn't.
oh, it's based on.
If you were
on the
that good of a
individual.
player, listen. If you were that good of a player, you would find a way to win at least one
No.
postseason.
No. That's
No,
exactly
no,
what
no,
you
no,
said
no,
you
no.
weren't doing. That's team success
What do you
conflated to
mean?
individual success.
It's not team six. It's not though. If you're one of the greatest play, if you are you should do enough, or you should be smart enough to at least go to a team that's going to help you win. He's sitting there in Anaheim. Well, they're
collecting
not even
$500
making the
million.
playoffs. Since when was
So,
collecting
Mike Trout
money
has-
part of
So
the
why is it
all-time
stupid
great?
to not stay with the Angels
3.34.
if they offer you $500 million to stay there? Why would he not do
He has a
that?
301 career.
And
batting
I didn't know
average.
Los
money was a
Angeles.
part
Why
of
the
being
hell
an
would he not
all-time
want to-
It's
great.
not, but you can't knock him for staying because then if he leaves, then he's a ring chaser and you knock him for leaving. There's a no-win situation.
Listen, I think the ring chaser thing
He
is the
has been an
stupidest thing in
all-star
sports.
in more than
There's
3/4 of his years in the league.
Listen, he's good. I'm not disputing that. But to say he's the greatest player of our generation,
Who's better?
it's a little
Who's
bit of a
the greatest
stretch.
player of our generation? Name him. Name him right now.
If you say Buster Posey,
If you say like,
I was gonna go there.
oh my god,
Oh my god.
it's you
Yeah.
can't name anybody. It's just because you're just being a contrarian by saying Mike Trout's not.
Hold on.
Who
Well,
is?
You can
He's-
maybe argue Justin Verlander, but I don't.
No,
think-
you can't.
I would
No.
slightly lean towards Verlander.
Verlander is the second best pitcher of the generation. Scherzer's first.
Stop it.
Alright,
What
No,
the-
what do
no,
you mean?
come on.
What do you
Come
mean?
on. Come
Past 2 years,
on.
they have not been the same.
That's
Oh, I'm sorry that
Ridiculous.
38-year-old Max Scherzer's not dealing right now, but back in 12, he was that guy.
Yeah, she was.
Oh, and Verlander wasn't?
No, he
Both
was.
of them
He
were-
was.
When
But
they both
Verlander
were
has-
Tigers, they were
gosh.
really good.
Verlander might be in the conversation of a top 10 pitcher of all time.
Maybe. But I'd put Scherzer up.
I would have to go with Verlander.
That's crazy to me.
No, it's
That's
no.
crazy to me.
I wouldn't.
at the
I would
end
still go
of, I
12.
think as long if Shohei Ohtani continues this put,
I
he's
think
probably
he's
the greatest
already
player of all
I think
time.
he's already the greatest player of all time.
Yeah.
Because nobody's ever done what he's doing. Babe Ruth
Has he
never-
hit 71
Babe Ruth
home
never-
runs in a year?
Babe Ruth
Has he
never
hit
did.
71 home
Okay, when
runs in a
Barry
year?
Bonds hit 70 home runs in a year, did he also pitch a 3 ERA? No,
Has-
he
yeah,
didn't.
has
Has
Barry
Shohei
Bonds
hit
is-
70
Miss
home
me
runs
with
in a
that.
season?
That's ridiculous.
He was
That's
also
ridiculous.
Barry Bonds was also, if you put him out there, he was a liability.
on defense. He was like a negative.
Yeah, but
defender.
he's gonna hit you home runs every game.
Barry Bonds
Yeah,
was
but
a
he wouldn't
one-tool
use
I'm
player.
taking
Era.
that.
It's during the
71.
steroid era.
I-
where
no.
everybody
No,
was,
you cannot hold that against Barry Bonds. Everybody was juicing.
That's
Yeah,
true.
I
The
know.
pitchers he
I'm
was
just
hitting
saying-
ding dongs off of were also juicing. He was facing juice
Yeah,
pitchers.
no. I'm not taking that off. I'm just saying if adjusted era stats,
Yeah,
he's still hitting like 50.
yeah.
He's still hitting. a bunch. Like it's
Well,
not.
I
like
mean,
he
because
was-
if you think of it, before the juice, he was still a multi-time MVP.
Oh yeah,
Like,
before the
Right.
juice, he was still a dog. Like
he was still in the conversation for MVP every year. But
oh yeah,
you can't say, well, did he ever hit 70 home runs in a year? Because no, he hasn't. But the people who have never pitched a 3
Pitched.
ERA in the same season.
It's fair. I guess it's fair, but he has to be up there. For me personally, I think
he's also a
number one.
premier base stealer. He has one of
literally-
the fastest sprint speeds.
He's literally a 7-tool player.
Yeah,
Listen,
It's
me
insane.
personally, he's my number one. But I wouldn't
Verlander?
Bonds
Ohtani.
Oh, you mean of all time?
of all time. But I would have no problem with Ohtani being up there. In
I
that
think
category.
two more years of what he's doing now, and he's there.
Definitely.
Mhm. Yeah.
Speaking of MVP, what did we think of the summer league? I think the Cavs won the summer
Yeah, they
league.
did.
Mobley won MVP.
Yeah.
What are we thinking about that? Is this
Uh,
a good thing? I mean, I don't know.
I mean, for the Cavs, it's a really good thing because Isaiah Mobley showed that he's a decent piece.
Money Bates is
Imoni Bates, yeah.
lights out.
I'm
He's
of
been
the
really
opinion
good this summer.
He's
I
the
would say
answer at the 3. I think you slide
Yeah.
Karis LeVert onto the bench.
Yeah.
You probably cut
Definitely.
Okoro.
Good.
I'm a Chetty fan personally. I think they should keep him. I think he's a dog. And then Bates starts at the 3, and he's a smart someone that'll shoot the ball. Because Okoro in that Knicks series did not want to shoot the ball at all.
No, he didn't. He was not.
I
there. He was not
personally-
there.
For me, and I just feel like this is. I think I do agree. This is an amazing sign for the Cavs side. Like it's just it. Hopefully it translates to the regular season and then the playoffs. Issue I have always had with the summer league, is how it transitions to the NBA regular season, because there's some stuff in there where you have some teams are putting all their starters and they're like
Yeah.
developing teams, and then the
Rockets.
team who just won
Yeah, I didn't get
team
that.
who just won the NBA championship is pretty much resting.
Yeah.
And look at the
Right.
Bulls from
They're all- they're
2016. Their summer league. I mean, Denzel Valentine won summer league MVP.
Denzel
He turned out to-
Valentine is not the rule here. He was a total bust.
yeah, he was.
Well, so I want
I'm just
to.
saying,
I want to say
he was
one
really good in
thing.
the summer league. He was just horrible when it came to the actual regular season.
I want to say one thing on the Pistons because I was watching a game maybe a couple weeks ago. They're playing the Magic. They've got like 5 starters on the floor in the summer league.
Yeah.
Why the hell are you playing your starters in the summer league? I thought this was
I
just the
get it.
rookie or second guy. I don't get it.
Because all their starters are rookie second year guys. They need time to play with each other, or else it's never gonna work. Because Detroit has been so bad, like for so long now. This is the best way to get synergy between your guys.
And
In the summer
hiring
league,
Monty
though?
Williams
Yeah, in the
does
summer
really
league.
help.
Because you don't want to waste time
Everything-
doing it in the regular season.
No, well, you're not because there's preseason basketball right before the summer league.
preseason basketball.
People
Nobody
forget
plays
about that.
preseason
That's
basketball.
that's like
no one-
that's
Well,
not
why is it different than the summer league? Play in the
Because
preseason
it's
instead of
low
the summer
pressure.
league.
There's no pressure in the summer league. Nobody cares if someone's good in the summer
That's
league.
And people care in the
watch in the
preseason.
preseason.
For
Yes,
players.
because then people overreact and say, "Oh, they're gonna suck now," and that's a lot of pressure for a
People do
second-year
that.
guy.
People do that after the draft, and the starters thing is so dumb to me because you're taking spots away from guys who could genuinely get a spot on the team. I don't know the number of guys on a summer league team. I know that they just take like these bums, and if you don't make it, they ship you overseas or something. But I don't get it with the starters. Just play in the preseason. I mean, you've already
It's not
played a
enough
full
games. It's like
season.
4 games. It's not enough.
yeah, that's not enough to gel a team together.
I don't know. I would be against it just for
Two.
the fact that you're taking spots away from guys that are legitimately trying to prove themselves to.
I
an
can see
NBA
that
caliber
argument, but
team.
also it's not about that. It's about the Pistons trying to build a winning basketball team for once in their life.
Monty Williams was
I
a
get
great
it.
hire.
If you're the Nuggets, sure, give that chance out there. If you're the Pistons, where 99% of your starters and most of your your bench at this point is not really experienced playing together, or is a rookie or second year, third year player, you're gonna need gel that team together, and 4
100%.
games isn't gonna do it.
Yeah, but I don't
If
know.
you're the Nuggets, you can put some guys who are just trying to make it and find their spot and show what they have.
Yeah,
because
it's
your
a difference in
your
goals.
team's already gelled.
For the Nuggets, you're looking for the 15th man on your roster, and you're trying to make it top to bottom as good as it can be because they're already far and away the best team in the league. The Pistons don't care about their 15th guy. The 15th guy on the Pistons is never going to touch the floor.
Right, but is it really impressive when you watch these guys like Jalen Duren and Jaden Ivey?
It doesn't matter.
Hold on. Let me finish. These guys are beaten
less
down on just scrubs. I mean, they're just blowing out the Magic, and I'm like, this is the most pointless thing ever. Why? Like, you're not even playing against real competition. You know how many times I'm watching a summer league game the past few weeks, and some guy's throwing up a 3 off the side of the backboard?
I've
these guys are terrible. It's so bad. It's just terrible. You're not even playing against real NBA caliber defense.
No,
so I
I
don't
think
see
it's
the point.
more-
That's just me personally. I don't see the point.
about
I
gelling.
think they need to
More
look.
about
You
gelling.
also need to look. These guys, they're in Vegas for a month. They stay at the same hotel. They stay in the same place. They're with each other constantly. It's about setting them up for an 82-game season. Because these rookie guys, specifically the rookie guys, they play in college, but that's such a different environment because, you're traveling a lot and stuff like that, but you're still in school. You have stuff outside of basketball. These professional guys who don't have the $1 billion endorsements, their entire life is basketball for 7 or 8 months of the year. So you got to get them accustomed to playing in the environment like that. So
that's
Well, and
the exact reason why you have the first round draft picks playing in. That's why you have Victor playing and Chet still playing, even though
I'm not
he's
opposed to
technically a
that.
second year. You have
I
those
like
guys
the
who
second
just
year players
need-
playing. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Like Keegan Murray playing. A lot of people were saying he's a starter on a playoff team. Why is he playing?
That's the most pointless thing ever. Why does he have to play? Come on, why does he have to play?
Last year, he was a spot-up shooter, and that was it. He played 30 minutes a game as a spot-up shooter. They want more from Keegan Murray. They know they can get more from Keegan Murray, but he needs time to develop his game, and he can't do that.
What are you developing in the summer league? These guys that you're playing against are not even.
New skills.
Thing to practice new
Keegan
That's
skills.
what practice and preseason is for.
Shooting threes the whole time in the summer league. He's the best player on the Kings summer league team. He's the 5th best player on the Kings regular season roster. It's different opportunities.
Well, maybe it's the head coach's fault then. You have to find a way to incorporate all of your players.
If you're fighting for a playoff spot, you're not going to let rookie Keegan Murray go out and chuck 30 shots a game. You're going to give the ball to Fox and have Keegan sit in the corner.
And let me say this. If you're a rookie like Wembanyama, I have no problem with you playing in the summer league. I think Wembanyama should have played the entire summer league. But that's just my opinion. No. But if you're one of these guys like Keegan Murray, what the hell are you doing in a summer league game? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. It'll never make any sense to me.
I don't know, man.
But I see all your points though. You guys got good points, but I just don't understand it.
Jack, what are you seeing in the Bulls? I saw a quarter of one of their games. And it was looking kind of rough out there.
It's not that bad. Okay, their summer league team they weren't that bad this year. I'm not certain on this. I think they're finished with a 500 record.
Highlight of the season, baby, 500 record in the summer league.
Yeah. Adama Sanogo, who they signed as an undrafted guy, he's actually found his stride and really good with the team. Dalen Terry, their first round pick last year, has shined in the summer league. He's found his shooting. His defense is a little bit of work, but I think they weren't trying to win the summer league. They were just trying to get some guys out there. Adama Sanogo, I think, is going to make the team this year, which is good. I fully know the Bulls are not going to be contender for the finals this year. We're probably going to make the play-in, but we might even miss the plan because this front office is horrible.
As a Bulls fan,
you go ahead.
As a Bulls fan, I saw the post on Instagram. I saw that was the first time I saw when they re-signed Nikola Vucevic. I was irate because he's a good player right now, but he's like I just don't think he gels at all with this team. But I'm going extreme. I'm going extreme here. You have to trade. I'm trading everybody. This is this is another restart
Who's
for the Bulls.
taking him?
Yes.
This was supposed to be the team. Didn't work out. You have to rebuild again, and it has to be a full rebuild. There's no rebuilding for 2 years and then going, oh shoot, we have to sign everybody and trade for everybody under the sun and try to get
Here's the problem, right? The difference between the Bulls being a borderline play-in team and them being a solid 4 seed is literally Lonzo Ball.
Yeah,
That's the difference.
Lonzo Ball's
a
probably
competent point guard who's smart like Lonzo is the difference. Because right now, it's like
he's never playing basketball again.
It's Io. Right?
Io just seems
I like him as a player. He's not Lonzo Ball. LonzoAll was coming into his own before he.
Well, no, he wasn't. Lonzo Ball was. It's nothing in this. Stop it. Hold on.
Yes, he absolutely.
Listen, I know that.
2020.
Listen,
with the Bulls, they were in first place in the East. We won the best record in the league. They were really good, and then Lonzo got, and then all the guys got injured, and it all just fell to pieces, and they just got destroyed by the Bucks in the first round.
Hold on. When they were first,
point guards, the best defensive point guards, I found his shot and was still a good passer.
Good, Jeff. He was
and still a decent shooter.
He was
and
good.
He was really starting to hit his stride with shooting. You cannot tell me that is not one of the best point guards in the league at that point.
Okay, I'm gonna get to you in a minute, but just to go back on Jack's point, you guys were the number 1 seed, I think, in the East, I think in the whole conference.
Most fraudulent team ever.
You hosted Brooklyn on a Wednesday night and lost by like 37. So I'm not moved by I was never moved by that Bulls team. And going back on Morgan, I don't know. I think Lonzo Ball, he's a starting caliber point guard, but I don't know what he's going to do for you on an NBA court. He'll play defense. I get that. He'll play defense. But and he'll pass the ball.
Passer.
He can't score though. That's the thing. He can't really score.
He's on a team with DeRozan and Levine.
Can I just say I absolutely hate when people say, "Oh, he doesn't need to score." You're in the NBA. If you don't know how to shoot the ball like Ben Simmons, you need to get the hell out because I don't. You need to be able to score the ball. You're in the highest level of basketball, and you can't shoot the ball.
Simmons is one of the biggest busts of all time.
Have you seen like the videos of Andre Drummond just draining like 35-foot threes in the offseason?
Yes. Yeah.
And then you go into an NBA game and he's like airballing floaters.
Right.
It's such a different game. All these guys can score the ball to a degree. But everybody. There's a reason why not everybody averages 30 a game. It's because it's harder.
I'm not saying everybody should average 38 a game, but this guy's going to get you 12 and 10, and that's it.
I'm saying most of these guys that you say need to score better, if you give them the opportunities of a number 1 player, can go out and get you 25.
I don't think Lonzo Ball can.
Patrick
give
Beverly
you 12
and
10. I don't know what you're talking about.
Patrick Beverly can't either.
Yes, he can. If you give him
Patrick
the ball,
Beverly,
like you give DeMar DeRozan the ball, Patrick Beverly gives you 25.
Then why aren't they getting the ball? If it's so easy to score 45 points. No, because they suck. They suck at offense. They can't shoot the ball. DeMar DeRozan is not that good of a scorer. He's not even that good.
That's the only thing he does.
He's gonna get you. He's gonna get you. He barely scored.
Are you crazy?
He's insane mid-range.
I would just like to point out. Last year, or I guess it was 2 years ago. DeMar DeRozan won me our fantasy league solely based on the point of him scoring.
Listen,
I drafted him like the second round, and he scored everything.
Here's the thing: his entire career, DeMar DeRozan, the only thing DeMar DeRozan has done has been put the ball in the basket. That is it. He has never been a passer, never been a defender. That is it. He only puts the ball in the basket.
He'll get you 25, but he'll scratch and claw for 25 points. He'll barely
not
get
true.
it. You'll be at the 45-second mark, and he'll barely be getting that 23rd point or whatever. And he'll get it to you, but he'll go 9 for 22. The efficiency is bad. That's the thing. People can score, but you have to have good efficiency when scoring. Guys like Kevin Durant, you're getting 35 on like 12 shots almost. I mean, it's almost insane. I mean, these guys score at such a high level, and you look at somebody like DeMar
35 on
DeRozan
12
that's
shots
barely
is
spin.
not possible, Jeff. Even with
It is.
even
It is with
free
free
throws,
throws.
it's not.
Yeah.
It is
With
with
free
free
throws, yeah, but
You know what I
have
mean.
12 free throws because
You know what I mean.
I know what
But
you mean, but I'm just wanting to
DeRozan's
say
DeRozan's going to
Main
go
issue
like
that
9 for
Bulls have is-
25 and get you like 26 points. And is that really good? I don't think it is. But
it's-
I agree. They need to blow it up because these guys are past their prime. I think you can
They
get
have
trade
literally
value.
0 3-point shooters.
They can get
by
so
the way.
much value.
Yeah, that's
There
been
is
a big.
no-
Yeah.
so
yeah.
much value for
The
the
only person the only person they should keep on that team is Patrick Williams because DeMar DeRozan
Oh my gosh.
is honestly
No.
ruining
I am a Patrick
Williams right
hater.
now.
I am a Patrick Williams hater.
I don't.
He
I
is
don't
not
really like him
shown
either.
anything.
He's not.
If
He's
you
terrible.
if you blow it up and then give him one more year and he doesn't do
He's
anything,
a good defender.
that's
is
fine.
It. That is it. He's a
He
defender.
can't score the ball
You
either.
put him in the dunker spot. That's all he can do. I'm not saying there's not a spot for him in the league, but I am so sick of the Pat Williams truthers just blabbing their mouths.
Yeah,
about
it's
how he's the
it's
next
terrible.
Kawhi. He's not.
Yeah, he's not. No,
He's
that's
not, no,
ridiculous.
I-
Well, and-
That's completely
We
ridiculous.
wasted that.
it's not. It's not
He
because
should
you
not have
look
gone
at
fourth overall.
No.
100%.
He's a
No way.
mid-lottery pick at best.
Yeah.
Right.
I
You look
think
at
that's
Pat
reasonable.
Williams. You look at Pat Williams, and they'll be playing like Indiana or something, right? And it'll be like the third quarter or maybe fourth quarter. Game will be close, and then he'll get the ball, right? And it might be like a close game. Let's say it's a close game. He doesn't know what to do with it. It's like every time he gets the ball, there's just a look of confusion on his
That's
face,
where I think
like he
DeMar
doesn't know what
DeRozan-
to do with it.
That's where kind of being on a team with DeMar and Zach LaVine and Vooch has kind of ruined his development because they're taking like 80% of the touches.
Right.
So
I think his
these
development.
young
He
guys,
had a
when they get the
chance.
ball, they don't know what to do because
He had a chance when he first entered the
Yeah.
league,
Yeah.
but now I think it's ruined because for the entire time that there was this super team, I'm not going to call it a super team anymore. It was
It's
a
not.
failed
never
super
was.
team.
It never was.
It never
Yeah.
was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
He's
everybody was
very
like,
kind,
"This is a really
like-
good team."
Dude.
It was never
Dude,
a
DeMar
super
DeMar
team.
went to them, and people are like, "Which big three is better?" And they'd put up like the Warriors and the Bulls. And I'm like, "Are you guys
Yeah.
insane? Like that's insane."
Yeah.
Because
Nobody
Vucevic
was
is
touching
not even
Golden
close.
State.
Nobody
Yeah,
was
not
even
even
close.
As I was
Yeah.
saying, like that ruined Patrick Williams. I think if he had that time to develop when they, like I said, if they kept their rebuild going instead of like, we need a team right now. If they had let him rebuild and not center, but include him in the rebuild, I think he develops into
That's
a
decent
solid
rebuild.
starter,
100%.
borderline.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree
Maybe-
with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's kind of too late.
Yeah, it is.
Like defense is good because that's fine. The
Mhm.
DeMar and Levine and
Mhm.
Vooch weren't holding that back, but he averaged like 3 shots a game. I swear, it's like he doesn't shoot. He never gets a chance to shoot.
Well, I think it was kind of hardwired into the young guys. If you get the ball and it's not like a last-second shot, you
Pat-
need to swing it to DeMar.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or Levine or Vooch. Like swing it to one of those three, and then
Not even Vooch, because the majority of his touches came from Lonzo. Like,
Yeah.
DeMar's not passing the ball. I'm sorry. If he gets the ball and within like 16
Spotting
seconds
up
on the
and
shot
shooting.
clock, it's going up in the air. That's just the kind of player he is. You can't really build a good team around that kind of guy.
Jeff,
Well,
going
and
back
he
to your-
hasn't.
nobody can shoot 3-pointers. No, like
Oh my gosh, the three-point
No,
shooting on
like-
that team is atrocious.
They've been the worst 3-point shooting team, I think, for like 5 years straight.
It's
now.
so
It's been
bad.
bad. They can't shoot threes.
If your best-
Historically, the Bulls have not been able to shoot threes.
If your three best players that are supposed to be your offensive juggernaut can't shoot the three ball effectively, you're not going to win in the modern NBA.
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Jeff, going back to your DeMar DeRozan take, like March 28, 2022, against the Clippers at home, he scored like 51 points. He's done that I don't think he
Jamal
scored 50.
38-year-old Jamal Crawford scored 51
Oh my
points for the
gosh.
Suns. That doesn't mean anything if he scored
I'm
50.
just saying.
But
No,
he
But
scored
I don't think
51, and then
he's also had like 30, 40
but he had
games.
like 3 assists. Like he had 3 assists, 0 rebounds, 0 steals. Times he looked at anybody else on his team, like, and he shot up 51, and then he didn't do anything else for his team.
So
Right. I mean, I just don't think historically, when you look at DeMar DeRozan, he's a scorer, but I don't think he's a great scorer because, again, he's going to scratch and claw and get you 25 on 9 of 22. But he's not a guy that's going to torch you like
the
Durant.
disrespect is
Fully
crazy
center,
to me.
you have to like go all in on DeMar DeRozan, your entire team around him for him to
Yeah.
be truly.
You need to
What
surround
he-
Well, I
him
think that was
with
potential.
spot up shooters and wing defenders, and that's it. But like in the league right now, like, what DeMar DeRozan, what position does he normally play? Is it shooting guard?
small
or
forward.
Small forward.
Small forward. I
Small
think.
forward.
Yeah,
Top
small forward.
10 small forwards right now. Is he in there?
No way,
No,
not even close.
No.
Not even
Absolutely
top
not.
15.
Is
Not
Mikal
even
Bridges
top
better than
15.
him?
Yeah, I would say yes. Yep. Bridges is a proven scorer.
right
He's a
now,
better
I'd say so,
defender.
yeah.
He's younger. He's got him beat in every category,
Okay.
except maybe
Just
the
has-
post up.
Is Mo Wagner
Yeah.
on the Magic better than DeMar DeRozan right now?
Mo Wagner.
Mo
No.
Wagner.
No, he can
Tom
shoot
Wagner,
better, but I don't think all around.
I
no.
think
Okay.
it's close though. It's kind of close, which is scary.
Yeah.
Who do you mean?
Who's the
Franz
best?
Wagner?
Clearly,
Or no?
Sorry, Franz Wagner, not Mo Wagner. Sorry,
yeah, Franz.
I know Mo
Yeah.
Wagner.
Who's the
Um,
best small forward?
The best
thinking
small
Franz,
forward
too.
right now?
Yeah, best small forward in the league.
That's a
Are
stretch.
we saying Giannis is a power forward?
Yes.
Probably, right? Yeah.
Absolutely, he is a power forward. Don't
Somebody-
start with this.
Oh,
Giannis
okay,
is
I
a
don't know,
small
man. I don't know.
forward
He
stuff.
It's like LeBron is a point guard. Okay, he's 6'8". There's no
Okay.
way he's a point guard.
He's a power forward. I don't know. For a bit, he was a small forward.
He was when he started
I
out,
mean,
but I think he
KD
changed.
probably. I'd say it's probably a
Yeah.
2-horse race. Probably KD and Jason Tatum.
What about Kawhi? No Kawhi.
Kawhi would be up there if he could play more than 20 games a season.
Yeah, I was gonna say if
Right.
Because
Kawhi
we saw
could,
it
like-
in the playoffs. The games Kawhi played, he was dominant. He's still
Right.
got it, but he just
Yeah.
can't showcase it.
They got a really bad
He's-
deal
he's
with the
him
two
on
of
the
them, the
court.
Oh my gosh,
Clippers.
it's like the Rendon
That's-
deal. What is it with
It
LA
is.
teams?
It's.
The
I don't
little
know.
brother
It's-
LA teams and signing huge contracts to players who can't stay healthy.
Doc Rivers was terrible. I don't know why Doc Rivers is still a head coach. ESPN might get him
Wait, who?
to become a broadcaster.
Oh, did you
Doc
see
Rivers.
that thing where it might be Mike Green, Doris Burke, and Doc Rivers?
Yeah, that would be the
Oh,
worst
God.
We're
broadcast.
watching the
in
games
world.
on
No.
mute. That's insane. That's horrible.
I can't believe that. Well, and Doris Burke would be decent, but it's just Doc Rivers would
Doc
be
Rivers
terrible.
would be so He'd be so
Yeah,
bad.
no.
Doc Rivers is
I-
probably the
honestly,
most overrated
I'd probably be
coach
better
in
than Doc
NBA
Rivers
history.
commentating an NBA game. I think you could put a 10-year-old who barely knows what a basketball is.
I'm gonna miss.
All he
I'm
can
gonna
say
miss
is that was a really good shot, and then he'd be a better broadcaster
I'm
than
gonna
frickin'
miss
Doc
the
Rivers.
what's it? Mark Jackson, Van Gundy, and Mike Breen.
Van Gundy, yeah.
Mhm.
I'll miss those memes where it's Van Gundy saying something totally irrelevant, Mark Jackson saying something not even related to basketball, and there's just Mike Breen saying like
It's so
free throw
good.
for Jason Tatum or something like that.
Yeah.
The funniest things of all time.
Well, and they did it for a long time
Yeah,
too.
I'm gonna miss Van Gundy. He was actually okay.
Yeah.
He was. He had basketball knowledge, and they didn't like him because they criticized the league. So Adam
Yeah.
Silver put a stop to that real quickly. You know, there's still Hubie Brown is still under contract at ESPN.
They cut so many people and they kept so many people. It's just like, what are we doing over there, guys?
I don't know why they keep Hubie Brown. I mean, God bless him. He's like
Oh,
pushing 85, I think. I mean, this guy, I mean, he's a complete basketball legend, Hall of Fame, everything. But, dude, I mean, he's up like one or two times a year. I mean, you got to get somebody new at that point.
Well, and they went and they signed like the Pat McAfee. They like bought the Pat McAfee show, and it's like a $110 million deal.
Yeah.
And then like a month later, they say like we're cutting like $100 million in contracts. So, like I
Right.
wonder why. I wonder.
Well, and I don't know. They cut all the people from the Monday Night Countdown.
Yeah, they did.
Which is weird because I mean that's a show, Monday Night Countdown. They've been just swapping people left and right for like 10 years now.
Yeah.
So it's been weird to see it change.
ESPN show that's not the Manning Cast or like Monday Night Football has been just a revolving door for years.
Yeah, it has. It has been.
PTI's been a mainstay.
Yeah.
But like it's
Good job, cool.
just people.
But like first
out
take.
crazy. It's like 3 different people on there every day. And it's
Well,
not
and
supposed to be.
look at
Completely insane.
Look at the NFL Live or what? Not even NFL Live, but like Get Up in the morning. Like you'll put it on at like 8 a.m. They got guys like Dominique Foxworth on at like 8 a.m. Like I don't even know who that is. Who is that guy? And they got Marcus Spears. Like these guys are just clowns. Like I don't. Who's
Kendrick
watching
Perkins,
this?
Who let Kendrick Perkins on a TV set?
Yeah.
Who let
I'm sorry.
who let
I'm
Kendrick
sorry.
No.
who let Kendrick
Horrible.
Kendrick Perkins Kendrick Perkins is the most I'll tolerate is when I'm playing my career in 2K20.
Okay, here's the thing. Off
Most Kendrick
the air,
Perkins I'll
like,
ever tolerate.
I've heard him on podcasts and stuff. He's actually like a really smart guy, and he has a lot of good
Yeah.
things to say. But the moment you put an ESPN branded camera in front of him, he just
It's
goes
awful.
insane, and
Yeah.
he just starts saying the most ridiculous stuff of all time.
It's really
insane.
funny because Stephen A. flames him like every single
Well,
time.
and
Buddy.
Stephen A's, it's crazy. If Stephen A's calling your take ridiculous, you know you're doing something wrong.
Well, Stephen A. calls everybody's take ridiculous, and Stephen A.
Yeah,
JJ
is a
Redick
character in
is
himself.
he's going to be the next one to go, but he's the best analyst. they
He's
have.
good. He's good.
He's
Yeah, I
actually
hope he
good.
stays. I hope he stays.
Oh, they don't like him.
Who was I?
Something that I'm like
Who was I gonna say?
something that something I was gonna say relating to the NBA discussion and about how Vooch specifically on the Bulls. I feel like powerful focus around your center game that we had seen before, it's completely gone. Like I'm talking not about the Jokic's who are also like insane at passing and stuff, but I don't think focusing around a center is a viable strategy in a
He's
basketball
literally saying
NBA team
everything
again
I said
anymore.
against this one kid at camp. That's every single point I made against him.
You used to be
I mean,
able
like-
to, though.
I was getting cooked.
Yeah, but now I don't think you can anymore.
No, oh no, God, no, you can't.
Unless
You
it's
can't.
Joel
Nobody can.
or
There's no
Jokic,
way.
You can't.
I wouldn't even build around Joel Embiid. I think Joel
Jokic
Embiid
is a
not
completely
even
different
that good.
monster. Jokic is putting up triple
Well,
doubles,
the thing is-
like how I eat, like it's one after another. Like it's boom, boom, boom. I'm visiting McDonald's 4 times a day. He's putting up triple doubles in 4 games consecutively. It's a very similar comparison. Like he's putting up triple doubles.
Yeah.
And if you're a triple double as a center, that's you can focus around your center. If you're Nikola Vucevic, you can't focus around Nikola Vucevic. You can't
used to
focus
be
around
able to.
Mo Bamba.
Here's the thing. I think it's a difference in terminology. You don't build around Jokic. You can put him on whatever team, and the way he plays just.
Oh yeah. You can't.
It's just good basketball, because he's gonna.
Yeah.
He can score at will, because he's so good at passing. The main draw of his game is the passing.
Yeah. I mean, you can't take you can't turn an average center now and make it. And by building a team around them, you can't make a great team.
Back in the 90s, you had guys like
exactly.
just
Even
these
2000s.
random guys that were the centerpieces of teams.
Yeah.
I don't want to put any disrespect on Roy Hibbert, but like he had no business being the main piece on a team that was like decent. It used to be so much easier to build teams around centers just because the way the game was played. But nowadays, Roy Hibbert would not even touch the floor.
Oh, come on.
I'm sorry.
Prime Roy
That
Hibbert?
man would not touch the floor.
Stop it.
I'm sorry. He wouldn't.
Y'all don't know about Prime Roy Hibbert.
I
Come
do
on,
know
that guy
about
was a
Prime
top
Roy
10
Hibbert.
center.
That's why I'm saying it.
Listen, he was a top 10 center in the league like 10 years ago. It wasn't even that long
okay,
ago.
Look, listen. DeAndre Jordan was getting first team All NBA. The center position was so thin back in the mid 2010s. Like, you have no idea.
Not really.
Nowadays, the big man has been resurging. But, like, that era was maybe the thinnest the big man position has ever been.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking on big men, I want to touch on this really quickly. So the 90s and 80s Pistons, well, the 80s Pistons, the bad boy Pistons, okay? And Bill, they'd play dirty. Everybody's seen The Last Dance. They just hacked him. Yeah, Bill Laimbeer. I think, and you could edit this out, Bill Laimbeer would get the living kicked out of him by Ben Wallace if they went up head to head.
Yeah.
Ben Wallace is dropping off Bill Laimbeer. It's not even close.
Set up. We have to set up.
It's
not
even close.
Mm-hmm.
And Bill Laimbeer,
he wasn't even that good. He was
he wasn't. He knew how to throw a punch.
He was a 7-foot thug, and that's the only reason he was on that team.
Well, and
Ben
they used to fight a lot.
Probably
but
beat up anybody in the current NBA.
Yeah.
The strongest player. He's
probably
the strongest basketball player of all time, and it's not even close.
I was about to say anybody but I can't think of anybody who Ben
Dwight
Wallace
Howard?
wouldn't absolutely smoke.
Meta World Peace.
Ben Wallace would literally kill Bill Laimbeer. It would
Easily.
It wouldn't be. That team would
Ben
mop the
Wallace-
floor with the.
Ben Wallace would
Pistons.
snap Mo Bamba like a Slim Jim. He would just go.
The whole thing with
and
that
just
80s team.
snap
That
Mo
80s team
Bamba
is one of the
in half.
greatest teams we've ever seen. The 04 team was never supposed to be good.
Well, it was the 2000s Pistons are sweeping the bad boy Pistons.
Oh no!
It's not.
No.
Oh,
Yeah,
No.
80s Pistons are getting dropped
get
off.
outta here.
What are they gonna
Get
do?
outta
You're
here.
gonna
Like,
fight.
are you
You're gonna
starting
fight
to
Ben
play
Wallace.
Chauncey
Ben
Billups
Wallace is gonna kill Bill
Or are we
It
Laimbeer.
doesn't
playing in
matter
80s?
because Joe Dumars and Isaiah Thomas are mopping the floor with whatever bums the Pistons show up with.
Bums, put some
Or the
respect on the
04
Finals MVP.
Okay, sorry, Chauncey Billups.
Chauncey Billups.
Hey, sorry, he was the best team on a team that wasn't even
Chauncey
supposed to
Billups.
win. Like,
Chauncey Billups and Rip Hamilton would
do not
literally
hold a
lock
candle
down
to Thomas and Dumars. Are you kidding
Isaiah
me right
Thomas. That 04 team
Cannot
sweeps. It's not
genuinely
even
tell me that Rip
close.
Hamilton is better
No,
than
you-
either.
now? Look me in the eyes.
I
and tell
never
me-
said that.
Joe,
I never
Joe,
said that. I
Jeff,
never said that.
Look me in the
They're
eyes
better
and tell me Rip
individually.
Hamilton is better than Joe Dumars.
I'll say it again. I'll say it again because that's not what I'm saying. Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars. I think Rip Hamilton's better than Joe Dumars.
No,
but whatever.
oh my gosh, you don't know Joe Dumars. This man doesn't know Dumars.
Hold on. I think. Let me say it again.
No.
The Pistons team from 2003 to like 2008, relatively the same lineup, would sweep the bad boy Pistons
No,
lineup.
not
Not even close.
They would get stunned.
They would lock down. They wouldn't, because you can't throw a punch in today's game. If they played back then, you really want Ben Wallace throwing haymakers at you? Ben Wallace would kill Bill Laimbeer. It's not even close. Rasheed Wallace, these guys would F them up. I mean, it wouldn't even be close. The bad boys Pistons would leave after the second quarter because they'd be getting killed so much. Not even close, in my opinion.
Whatever. All right, we got one last
They'd only
topic.
leave because maybe Ben Wallace got ejected.
Yeah,
That'd be
for-
the
They'd
only
throw
reason.
out
no,
Laimbeer.
it's
They
'cause
throw out
Rasheed
both
Wallace
of them.
got ejected for like saying ball don't lie. He'd get ejected like 5 minutes into the game. Rasheed Wallace would not last a minute against the bad boy Pistons.
If they had Dante Jones on the bench, they'd give him a technical foul. It's one of the more bizarre things I think I've ever seen.
Ball
Getting a
don't
technical
lie. Ball
foul on
don't
the
lie.
bench.
All right, we got one last topic on the board
Yes.
here.
Speaking of bizarre things, by the way,
Oh
the,
boy.
the sudden thing about running backs no longer
Oh yeah.
existing, like
Yeah.
what, like
Well,
the
I mean,
CMC is like
the only
there's so many. I think
he's the only running
still
back
think
worth
running
paying.
back is a valuable.
It's not. It's not.
It's
I
not.
think
Yeah,
I
it
think it's
fell
still
off.
a
It fell
valuable
off.
position.
Well, no. Here's the thing.
think
It's a
it's
very
great.
valuable position, but the problem is there's so many running backs that are good,
Right.
and it
Yeah.
doesn't take much. The value of a running back. There's like maybe 2 running backs right now who I'd say are worth big deals, and it's CMC and Saquon Barkley.
And Derrick Henry.
No, Derrick Henry's like
No.
32, dude. He's not.
No, he's
No.
too
He's
old.
not.
It's
He's
weird
not.
that- it's
he can't
weird.
catch the ball. I'm sorry.
It's weird to think that he's that old.
He's
and
old.
then
Yeah, it's
this
weird
guy's-
because he's only
it's
been
weird.
in the league for like 7 years.
7 years. Yeah.
But
I don't know. It's the running back
And the other
industry,
thing,
the running
the thing
back
about
market.
running backs,
It's It's fell off. I mean, I don't. You can get a
Running
good
backs
running back
also-
anywhere.
Running backs cycle through so fast. Most running backs nowadays, they have 4 years
Well,
career.
the thing is, they're
They
done
have
by
a
like
4-year
25.
career.
So you come out of college, you get
Yeah,
a
they
rookie
can't-
deal, and that's it. They teams just dump you, and it's
Yeah.
interesting because you want
Yeah.
to see players get paid what they're worth, but also you have to look at the teams are trying to win. So
Yep.
if your team
Yeah.
gives a declining
Right.
running back a huge deal, you can't be like, oh well, it's good they gave this guy his money that he deserves. You have to be like, well, this just handicapped their entire team for like 4 years.
Yep.
So I mean,
This is why, like, it's just a hard position to be in, where running backs to be, still a valuable asset. It's just hard to keep them that valuable as they were in the 90s, in the 80s, anywhere in the past, really. They were one of the most valuable positions on the team, with the pass catching being the most important thing, not
Well,
so valuable
I mean,
anymore.
I think if you really boil it down, it's just that the gap between the third best running back in the league and like the 20th best is just not that high. It's not that big a gap.
Yeah.
Like look at the
Well,
Chiefs,
and-
right? They've been one of the consensus. They're a top 3 team every year in the league. Their running back this year was a 7th round running back,
right.
a 7th round rookie. 2 years from now, he's gonna be off the team probably. And
Probably.
that's not a disrespect to Pacheco, but like it's just how it goes. And I think if you really want to trace it back to where the running back market absolutely crashed, it's Le'Veon Bell's fault. Because he held out a year for a bigger deal. The Jets took a risk on him. He sucked like really hard. And then everybody said, we're just not going to pay running backs anymore.
Well, I think it's a valuable
Our
position.
kicker,
I don't
a
think that
kicker
it's
is more
not.
valuable than a
Yeah.
running back. A kicker
I don't
is
think-
more
no.
valuable
A
than a
good
running
kicker
back.
It is.
is
It
way
probably
harder
is,
to
actually,
find
yeah.
than
A
a
good
running
kicker-
back.
Yeah.
Kicker can
Yeah.
have
But
a good
the
kicker can
position
have
of
a
running
15-year career.
Yeah.
the position of
Talking
running
about
back
a good,
is
just saying in
valuable.
terms of if you have a good kicker versus a good running back, one can have a 15 career, one can have maybe max productivity 7.
And the kicker's going to be leading your scoring every year.
Yeah.
A top 15 kicker.
Look
is
at
so much
look at what
harder to
happened with
find.
Cody. Look what happened with Cody Parkey for the Bears. Like, if they still had if they had anybody other than if they had Santos now, if they had Santos
Yeah.
like, not to mention, like
I think it really just boils
like
down
Adam
to
Vinatieri,
that
like it's just a mess.
finding a replacement kicker is so much easier than finding a replacement running back, just because you don't have to
Like-
be an elite athlete to be a
Yeah.
kicker. But finding
Right.
a top 10 kicker is infinitely harder than finding a top 10 running back.
Which is why the Bears giving up Robbie Gold
Oh, that's
to Mark
insane.
Trestman
Oh, that's
didn't
bad.
like
That
him.
was bad.
It's
Was
actually
one of the
That was
I
bad.
think it's one of the worst
It's bad.
things
It
I've
was.
ever seen on a
Terrible.
football,
That
because
was
there is a
horrible. He's still kicking it
possibility
out.
that team wins possibly championship, or at least gets to the NFC championship if they have Robbie Gold.
I don't know
I don't
about-
think it would be
I
a
don't know
big
about
chance,
that, but that's
but
a
I think it would
different
be
discussion.
Well,
a
so-
slim chance.
I don't think the running back position it's valuable, because if you have a good running back, you're set. But this used to be a position where like that was your team as one guy. I mean, take a look at not even them, because they had a good
85
defense.
Bears.
But look at
That's true.
look at San Diego in 2006
Yeah.
and Seattle in 2005. Sean Alexander and LaDainian Tomlinson, I believe, MVPs for each of the year. Alexander in 05, LT in 06.
And,
Those guys were their entire team.
Yeah.
That was their entire team. Seattle was get the ball to Sean Alexander. Everybody else don't screw up. I mean, as they progressed, they got guys that you could rely on. Like Hasselbeck got better. They got Daryl Jackson, Nate Burleson. They even got Deion Branch for a little bit. But that was their whole team. But now you look, that was 15 years ago. You look at it right now,
That's one of the worst teams.
that's not the case anymore. That's not it's not the case anymore. Running backs don't dominate like they used to. Look at Sean Alexander, Adrian Peterson, even guys like Curtis Martin. These
Chris
guys would
Holmes,
dominate.
Chris Holmes.
Yeah, again, these guys would dominate,
Yeah.
and you don't see that anymore. Like a running back,
another
Derrick
thing.
Henry was the closest to winning MVP
No, I
since
think,
those
I
guys, since
think,
Adrian Peterson.
Todd
CMC.
Gurley, that stretch of like 2 years where he was
Yeah.
dominating like that is maybe the closest thing we'll ever get again to that like golden era of like mid 2000s backs that were just their entire team.
Mhm.
The
Yeah,
other
you're
thing
going-
we have to realize is that there's an offensive lineman shift too. You value pass blockers way more now than you value run blockers. It is an
course.
extreme shift.
Well, I mean, you can see that in the Bengals this year. Jonah Williams is a decent run
Oh, yeah.
blocker. He's a fine run blocker actually, but he cannot protect the pass to save his life. So we dump him, or we don't dump him, but we shift him over to the right, bring in Orlando Brown. He can't really run block, but he's a good pass blocker. Which, I mean, obviously if you look at the construction of that roster, it makes sense, but 10 years ago, that doesn't happen. Just because the run
Right.
game is much more important.
Well,
You're
and you
going
look
back
at the
Yeah?
You're going back to your take on Le'Veon Bell. He was good with the Steelers for like 6-7 years, and once he left the Steelers, he was horrible. He was never the same.
Sitting out
I
of
think
here
that's
destroyed his career. He should never have done that. That was the dumbest
Yeah, like-
thing he could have ever done.
yeah.
for a lot of.
Have you
running
heard
backs.
his rap song? Have you heard
Yes, I have.
Le'Veon
I
Bell's
have.
rap song? That is the best thing that's come out of Le'Veon Bell
Yeah.
since he took that break.
That's the best thing that's
I'm-
come out of Le'Veon Bell since he dribbled Drake Kirkpatrick against the Bengals in like 2016.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen that, but he
Yeah.
stiff-armed him so hard that he hit the ground and then stood back up without even like moving his legs. It was so sad.
I
Yeah,
want to go
running
back
back-
on the offensive line that Morgan was going,
Yeah.
just really quickly. You say they value pass blockers more. Back in the day, like even 20, 15 years ago, the quarterback position wasn't the same. It was almost like it's flipped. Because you had guys like
almost an
Brad
afterthought.
Johnson. Yeah, you had guys like Brad Johnson taking teams to the Super Bowl. Rex Grossman, Jake
Oh
Delhomme
my
was
gosh,
another
Rex
one.
Grossman.
Like
Rex Grossman,
Hey, don't
bro.
Donovan
don't
McNabb.
diss Jake Delhomme. He was.
I'm not, but he was good, but he's not like
Rex Grossman
today's
is a legitimate.
quarterback, though.
Rex Grossman is literally, I think he was decent.
Yeah.
I still think he's a below average
Mhm.
quarterback.
Well, here's the thing.
well, and I mean guys
Back
like
in the-
Trent
like
Dilfer,
like
like come on.
2012, 2013, Jay Cutler, who is he's probably the best quarterback the Bears have ever had, but he was getting like top 10 QB in the league shouts, and that's just insane.
Yeah.
Because in no world is Jay
No.
Cutler ever a top 10 QB.
No,
It was just
but
so
it's
dynamic
changed.
back then.
It's changed over the years because they value, in today's game, they value the quarterback more. So you're going to build around the quarterback. But back in the day, it's almost kind of flipped from running back to QB. Because again, you've got these guys like Kerry Collins going to the Super Bowl. Like he has no business being in the Super
Colin
Bowl.
Kaepernick going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's another one. I mean,
Ridiculous.
Colin
That's
Kaepernick,
crazy.
everybody's
Joe
talking about,
Flacco.
oh, he
Joe
deserves
Flacco is
another
a
Yeah.
shot.
player. Joe Flacco is not a Super Bowl quarterback.
right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
People talk about how Colin Kaepernick deserves another shot.
No.
He
No.
was never that
He was
good.
never that
He
good.
wasn't.
He wasn't
a
good, no.
serviceable quarterback.
the
He was a
2015
serviceable quarterback.
Cam Newton year is the biggest outlier year in the history of the sport.
Probably.
Yeah.
His numbers before that and his numbers immediately following that were so much lower. And he had that 25th season. He had people thinking he was like a top 3 QB in the league. And that's just insane.
Well, he was during that season. He's
during
probably
that
the best.
season, he was.
But
Oh,
he
yeah.
didn't show
He was the
up in
best
the Super
quarterback.
Bowl.
He was
He
the best player
dove
in the
away from the ball.
That's insane.
I
That's
mean-
to this day one of the craziest things I've seen in the Super Bowl is somebody actively diving away from a ball in the Super
It's insane. And he threw so
It
many
was Super
temper
Bowl,
tantrums
too.
that game in the end zone. He'd be getting hit by DeMarcus Ware, and then he's flopping, complaining to the refs like, "You're down 8 with 3 minutes to go." Like,
Bowl. Get up, yeah.
come on.
You can do this after the game, But
It's like the
That was one of the worst chokes in history.
Yeah,
Nobody
it
ever
was.
really talks about
It
that
was.
because it was a close game. It was 24-16, like 6 minutes
Yeah.
left,
Well, it
and you're
was
not
kind
going
of
to
it's like the
dive on
Chase
the
game.
ball.
Chase
Kind of a
Claypool
boring
thing
game.
where he
It
celebrated
was
after
defensive
the
bad.
first down when he was
Yeah.
freaking where they had like 2 minutes,
Yeah.
like a minute left,
Yeah.
and they had to get a. That was ridiculous. I'm like, what are you doing? Like,
Mhm. I don't know if you guys remember this, but Jay Cutler, when he was with the Dolphins, he was
Oh, I forgot he even played for them.
Smoking Jay,
Yeah.
bro. That was
Oh, yeah.
Smoking
He-
Jay.
Smoking
he
moment.
was-
Jay.
chosen to be like a wide receiver for one play. They snapped the ball.
just
He didn't
stood
even
there.
run.
And
And he stood there.
He
Hey,
stood there. Didn't do anything.
say what you want. He tore up the Patriots on Monday Night Football.
He did. I remember.
did.
That.
So
That was rough.
that was something.
It was.
He's always been a weird guy though because
Yeah,
he
I don't
didn't
think he
play in
actually-
the
does
Cutler
not
is
like
just
football.
a very
I don't think
weird
he
guy
likes
in
football.
general.
I don't think he.
well, and he didn't
I don't think
play.
he does. I still believe in the notion that if he actually liked football,
Mhm.
he'd be a good to great QB.
Yeah,
I just think
liked
he's-
football.
He definitely saw it more as like an avenue to millions of dollars than an avenue to like being a
Yeah.
good football player.
If you look at like some of his best games, some of his great games, he had decent athleticism. Like games where he showed up and cared about it, there was flashes of what he probably could be if he cared
Yeah.
at all.
well,
Mark
he threw
San-
for a lot of
He
yards.
could be a
too.
top 5
people forget
quarterback.
Mark Sanchez was one game away from a Super Bowl.
He was
That is
twice.
correct. Mark
Twice.
Sanchez
That's
was
insane.
one.
Twice.
Mark Sanchez.
I know.
Butt
Same
Favre
as Case Keenum.
was 2 games away. He was a
Case
game away from the
Keenum.
Super Bowl 2 years in a row. That's crazy.
Um,
A different time.
this is what are we thinking about? Jameis Winston and Marcus Mariota. That popped into my head today. I'm like,
They were like the next.
How
they
is-
were supposed
they
to be
were.
next, and they just weren't.
they were 1 and 2, and they are horrible, absolutely terrible. They're like almost out of the league or backups right now. I mean, has that even happened before? 1 and 2
Marcus
have
Mariota
been
was
so bad.
Marcus Mariota
Yeah,
was
I
a.
don't know. It's
He was good. He was all right. He was better than Winston. Winston will throw 30
Remember when
interceptions.
he
Winston
threw?
was
Remember
so
when he threw
interesting.
a pass?
30
Remember when
season.
Remember when Marcus Mariota threw a touchdown to himself?
Oh,
That was-
yeah,
Yep,
I remember
that was
amazing.
insane.
Mariota to Mariota.
Oh,
I think
that
it's
was
interesting. I
that
hear
was how of
people,
his career.
I hear people say Jameis Winston would have been good without the interceptions, but like that's
No.
You
What?
can't just-
That doesn't even make
No.
you can't
sense.
just say you can't just take the interceptions off the board.
Yeah,
It's
exactly. That
part
doesn't
of the
make any
game.
sense.
I heard someone
Well,
say
and-
like he's a good quarterback if you just ignore the interceptions. Like, what are you talking about?
You can't. You
That's the
can't.
that's a
interception.
metric of a good quarterback.
But I don't think that's ever happened before. The 1 and 2 picks
Yeah.
of that was 2015. They just
They
were
just
so
weren't good. They just
bad. They weren't good. I don't know. Mariota was all right. He was 2 games away from a Super Bowl. But he's a backup now. I mean, you think
No,
they
he's
should be
not.
like Mahomes
He
is
quit
right
on
now.
that team.
He's out of the league,
He's out. Mariota's out of the league.
isn't he?
He's not on Atlanta anymore.
Once
No,
they benched him in Atlanta,
No,
he like quit.
he's done.
How far they
Yeah,
fall?
he's done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Desmond
Well-
Ritter, getting benched for Desmond Ritter. I like Desmond Ritter. I'm a UC guy, but come on.
But I don't know. It's
Pull it
weird.
together.
Well, he was on that quarter. He's on the new quarterback show.
Oh
Mark
yeah.
Mariota.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
saw that. I thought
But
that
think
was
about it.
interesting.
Those two were supposed to be like Mahomes and Josh Allen or whoever you want.
Well, they were supposed to be.
They were supposed to be
supposed to
insane.
like the successors to Brady and Manning.
Right,
yeah,
and we just skipped over them because
Today
they
I
were so
saw-
bad.
Well,
I mean,
I saw
We were talking
I
about
saw
this the
a
other
stat.
day. You can go ahead, Morgan.
it. I'm stat. There was like a stat sheet of Kirk Cousins versus Josh Allen, and other than like running and one more, Kirk Cousins since like 2018 just like murders Josh Allen and like yards
Yeah.
per game and like pass and like
The new nightmare.
Efficiency,
Kirk
and I'm like-
Cousins.
Yeah.
really
But yeah, Jeff and I were talking about this the other day. There was like a period where people were like, okay, Breeze is done, Rivers is done, Brady's done, Manning's done. It was like 2016. People were like, they're going to retire any day now. And it's like Jameis
No.
Winston, Derek Carr, and Marcus Mariota are up next. They're like the next great quarterbacks. and
Yeah.
they just
Derek Carr would have been
weren't
good if he didn't
They
get
just
like
weren't good.
absolute.
And we are so lucky that Brady and Breeze and Rivers held out for as long as they did, because it would have been rough if we were looking at like Derek Carr getting like #1 shouts before Mahomes
Well, he
got
was.
into the league.
Carr
Because-
was pretty good,
No, Carr
but they
was
got
fine.
screwed for the injury.
He's not like that guy.
No, obviously not.
But we got lucky
Nobody is.
that the old guard kind of held out for Josh Allen and Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes to show up.
Well, and even those guys,
Speaking of dying,
not even
things,
close
speaking
to
of
Peyton,
dying
Breeze,
things,
Aaron, or
Not yet. I think
Brady.
what we have
No,
right now,
no.
Burrow, Mahomes, and Allen is probably what we're gonna get to there.
It'll never be as good as the Brady Manning. No, that was peak. That was football right there.
That was
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Those Colts Patriots games were like gang
Insane. And then he went to the Broncos, and then it was like part 2. I mean, it was insane. I mean, they played in the AFC Championship game
Like
2 out of the
3
3
years
years
in a row,
Peyton was at Denver.
Yeah.
2 out of the 4 years. I don't know. It was insane. I mean, it was. If you wanted to watch football, you watched the 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that wasn't
Yeah.
even close.
Jerry, going back to the running backs here, top of my head, thinking about it, running backs really only like if they stay with one team, they were there for like 6-7 years and they were gone, and they were never the same. If you think about it, like Le'Veon Bell, Adrian
Historically,
Peterson, they
that's
were
the
not.
decline point. Is like 5 years into your career, you start to see a shallow drop off, and once you get to like 8, it's like, unless you're a generational guy, you're done.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Because the legs fall off because it's such a brutal position.
It's a hard position, yeah. I mean, there's no fullbacks in the league anymore. It's like Kyle Juszczyk for that play.
I'm a CJ Ham truther. Kyle Juszczyk is my guy.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about. Fullbacks used to be like a big thing back in like 10, 15 years ago, but now there's one fullback left. There's one team that uses a fullback, and no one else even bothers to like use it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a dying position. I don't think it's not valuable anymore.
It's just not. It's just replaceable. There's like 40 starting caliber running backs right now.
Right.
And there's 32 slots. So I think we lost Morgan here. His computer died, I think. So I feel like it's probably about time to wrap it up here. This has been our first episode. It was recorded Wednesday the 19th at 10 p.m. Just for anything that's not up to date when this comes out. But thank you all for listening. Hopefully you'll see us every Friday, at least consistently. And this has been On the Board. Thank you for listening to our first episode.